Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by patrons like Go Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, and Sotosan0424. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thank you for your support, everybody.
Thank you.
喜べ少年
That's right, rejoice everybody. It's time, once again, for Let's Talk FGO. I am one of your hosts, the Sleepy Man Omega. And with me, as always, is my co-host, our prima ballerina, Lucky.
What? I'm a little shook now, but whatever. Everyone, I hope you are all enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka A Tale of Two KOUHAIs. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should buy advance tickets for KOUHAI Carnage, BB vs. Match, the battle for Senpai.
There are not enough colons in that title.
Whatever. I don't know how to punctuate.
When have I made an intro joke and you were not shook?
Well, because, I never know, because I never, really, confer about you what I'm going to write in the introduction, but you never ever confer to me about what you're going to say for the introduction, so I'm just all like, oh, what's he going to call it? Because you start with, Sleepy Boy Meg, and I'm like, oh, am I going to be, Monster Fueled Lucky? You're like, no, Prima Ballerina. I'm like, what?
Everybody in the comments will agree with me. If you think Lucky is a pretty princess ballerina, put it in the comments.
Oh my god.
Also, by the way, I know you say, oh, I don't confer. You know what? Just to let everybody peek behind the curtain, I made that up 5 minutes ago while I was in the bathroom before shooting the show. So that's why there's not a lot of conference. It's like, shoot, I need to say something. Do you have anything funny? Well, I'm going to call Lucky a ballerina, so...
Oh my god.
I decided to go with prima ballerina,
be
by the way, instead of prima donna, because that could have been insulting.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the same. The reason the introduction is like it is because literally in our Discord, is it still happening? No, it's calmed down, but there was a mini Mash versus BB war. And people were all like, excuse me, clearly BB is the best KOUHAI. And people were all like, excuse me, Mash. And I was just all like, time to get some fucking popcorn, yo.
Yeah, I saw you immediately start reworking the intro as that kicked off. But hey, speaking of KOUHAIs, let's go ahead and check in with our favorite KOUHAI. It's Mash. It's Mash. I don't have a BB intro button.
Senpai.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips, because that makes a much better intro than, I don't know, BB channel or whatever. That just doesn't make as much sense. It's all about branding, guys. Anyway, we got a couple tips today. These were definitely not made up at the last minute. So, our first one is basically just a simple one. Synergy doesn't equal card type. So, think about this, alright? Merlin is an arts-focused servant. He has primary arts cards. He's a caster. He has an arts NP. But with his skill set, he really helps out Buster Crit teams. So, obviously, yes, if you have an arts team, you can put him in there, but then his third skill does nothing. So, you will stick him, despite the fact that he's mostly made up of arts cards and, like I said, has an arts NP, you'll stick him in Buster teams. So, don't just try and match all the colors in your deck. Actually think about what effects those units have and match up and what the servants do rather than focus that, make sure that you've got, oh, I need all riders for this, I need all whatever for this, you know. Not every team comp needs a chain to work. There are some that are like that, where it's just like, no, just chain the colors together and that's how you win. I think that's how a lot of Scotty comps work, is just pop her skills and do quick cards and you'll do okay. Quick card cruise control, but other setups don't work for that. So make sure to think about some stuff. Speaking of thinking about stuff, here's another one from the Peanut Gallery. Don't be afraid to experiment. You probably have lots of servants. Try them out. Just, you're like, oh god, I don't know what to do here. Or like, oh shoot, I do want to cram all casters into this, fight for some reason. Just stick some new people in there, some people you haven't tried in a while, and see what they do, and see if they work out. Maybe you'll find something you like. Well, I guess we should just go ahead and power on through. Fair warning, by the way, this will probably, we're going to talk more about CCC at the end, so maybe not, but this will probably be a shorter show, because there's not a lot of news going on right now.
Yeah.
We've got about 4 days left in the CCC collab here in the States, and the rest of the English Anglosphere, after which, fair warning, it's going to be whatever our equivalent of 9 million downloads is, which will involve an Ishtar raid up, so hold on to your quartz. And also, Whenever that gets announced, we'll go ahead and give you a full rundown on stuff, but it's got a lot of shit. Maybe when we talk about news, I'll give you a preview of coming attractions. But there's hold on, let me double check this. I think there's 9 days left in case files.
Yeah, we're in that spot again.
Oh,
where...
no, I'm wrong. I'm dumb. That's an hour mark. Okay, so case files is almost over, but we know what's coming next. It's fucking nothing. So, I'm pretty sure that something's going to start halfway through that. We'll talk about that in the news in a second. But, for now, JP has a big blob of nothing scheduled for 2 weeks. So, let's tune into Records from the Throne, our regular achievement topic, real quick. The event's basically complete for me. Immediately after we recorded that last week's show, I beat Kiara. And I have now got all my extra BB copies and all my ribbons. Technically, I don't have all missions done. I just need to get BB to Bond 3. But I can do that in the next couple of days with some daily farming. Sit her in the back kind of thing. So it's not a big deal. And, I already got, 2 lures out of this event. I don't really need a third. I don't spend them that fast. So it's not like a high priority since I've got all the Ascension items and the NP level 5. Speaking of Ascension, BB.
So, on my side, all I really got to add is BB Smile is protected. As I said, unfortunately, I do that. I'm doing that thing after I have completed an event instead of doing what most people would do and continuously farm so you can get QP and mats and stuff. I'm just all nah, I got other shit to do.
Yeah, that's the problem. CCC was in a really bad spot. Now, luckily, it managed to peak first, so we've got it all out of the way. But I'm fuck, I gotta farm Manjus in Azure Lane, real bad. That's ending soon.
Yeah, I got 5 days left for that.
Not that it's hard, because it's I'm in chapter 8 now, and I'm doing that pretty comfortably. So that's 180 a pop. So, you do 10 of those, and that's almost 2K.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, they're all new to me, so I have to run them 4 times to complete the mission anyway. So it's not hard. It's just a little time consuming. And then there's Deep Dive in Girls Frontline.
Oh boy. But so yeah, I've mostly been logging in, just burning my AP on dailies, and then I'm all right, got to get back to the fucking Manju finds.
And honestly, I comfortably got everything I wanted out of this store. I haven't bought some of the mats, but those are oh, you have 60 dragon scales. Do you really need to farm extra to buy 20 more right now?
I think I have feathers and something else left. I don't know. I might try to knock out those feathers.
Yeah, everything I wanted, pages, feathers, some of the newer mats, which are more rare. It's no, I got all those up. But if I have over 50 of something, I'm okay, you do use a lot of these. But at the same time, I don't need to go out of my way. Farming is so easy in CCC. The single currency and the fact that you get so goddamn many. I got 2 or 3 extra currency CEs dropped. It was so easy to farm Sakura chips.
Sakura mints.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move into Skelegram's now. Let's talk about the news.
Righto.
So our only news item today is JP's running a class campaign.
Sorry, excuse me.
It started today, basically. We're recording this on 5/10, so it started today, and it will run until the 26th. So that's 2 whole weeks of this. It's a daily rotation, every couple of days, basically. So it's a little bit longer than a day, but you know what I mean. Through each class, it goes Saber, Archer, Lancer, Rider, Caster, Assassin, Berserker, and extras at the end. So we'll talk about that a little bit more to pad out some time and talk about some of the stuff on the banners in a second. But first off, also they announced that from 5/10 to 5/24, there's half AP on, I'm assuming Epic of Remnant. The announcement tweet was sub-singularity, so I think that's supposed to be EOR. I don't know why you don't just call it by the story name, but thanks, guys. Those are half AP, and then it's quarter AP on all free quests in Part 1, Epic of Remnant, and Lost Belt 1 to 3. So if you need extra quartz, farm it now. Because this is almost assuredly a stopgap to pad out the schedule until Lost Belt 4. Everybody's been feeling Lost Belt 4 has been coming. There's been a lot of half AP or quarter AP on story, etc., etc. So, this just clearly continues the trend that, they're making sure there's a big gap of time where they can comfortably release this. Also, I believe a sprite sheet for the Enemy Master in Lost Belt 4 was leaked, so clearly we're working up to that.
Yeah.
So these banners, it's I don't think it's named Class Campaign 5 or whatever number we're up to, but it's basically those. If you've seen one of these, we've been a couple already in the English version, so you're pretty familiar with them. It's basically every servant who is not limited in these categories is gonna be on rate up, who is permanent or story locked. So, for instance, the Saber rate up that's going on right now might look pretty good because you can get Bedivere in there as a 3-star. You can get, Gawain and Artoria Alter. Now, I don't actually see this anywhere, but I believe reading the details, the way these normally work is they are explicitly locked to those classes. So, if you're trying to roll the 3 stars, you can. It's just, if you're trying to get your Bediveres, watch out. You're going to get a lot of Ferguses.
Yeah, I've seen a post on that where someone got like 6 Ferguses.
Yeah, because hey, guess what? It's a narrow pool.
It's a lot of dentists.
But yeah, if you're after like your Bedivere completionism, you can do that.
I hear people are excited for the extra because people are gonna be like, "Yes, give me that Solari."
Well, yeah. So basically, scrolling down, there's nothing super impressive about any of the other rate ups. Like they're, okay. So they got story locks in them, and some of your 5-star chances are better than others. Like for instance, where was scrolling down? So with Assassins, for instance, that's got a theoretical rate up on all both Osakawa Hime Jack and Old Man Li Shuen, because he's story locked. So like all 3 of those are up in there. Consort Yu is in that pool, and a whole bunch of other people. So like, there's not a huge collection of assassins. Like it's a fairly limited pool in terms of like permanents and story locks. So if you did get lucky on a 5-star, it would probably be something new. But yeah, extra is a pretty popular one because basically the extra rate up is super slim. They've clarified Estrella is not in the rate up, even though she's going to be permanent, so she's not included in the banners. If you wonder, you probably should have gone ahead and rolled on case files already. But basically, this rate up is 5 stars Jeanne d'Arc, 4 stars Gorgon and Shinjuku Avenger, 3-star Antonio Salieri for Avengers, and then Sitanai Alter Ego 5-star. So, like, once again, if you actually get a 5-star on this rate up, you got a pretty decent chance of it being Jean or Sitanai if you want either one of those. And once again, literally the only 3-star you can roll is Salieri, so you're gonna get a lot of him. If you missed your opportunity to do like the guaranteed SSR pool, I think it was last anniversary, was the one where it was broken up by class. So extra was you got people got a shitload of Salieris. Here's your second chance. So yeah, we generally think of these class campaigns as bait. And now for some of the 5-star pools, like they're very crowded. For instance,
well, like in most cases, I wouldn't like recommend it. But if you're trying to get like that 5-star Bedivere or Salieri, it's like this is a very good chance.
Yeah, if you're doing for specific story, like 3 stars, that's pretty good. If you're doing for specific servants, like I said, like Assassin, there's only 3 5-stars. Extras, there's only 2. Right,
just
so like,
everyone remember, when Lost Belt 4 pops, there's going to be at least like 3 new servants.
Yeah, there's going to be another handful of new units. What I do not recommend is don't roll on riders or casters. Those have like 5 different 5-stars on rate up. So the odds, even if you get a 5-star, the odds of you getting specifically what you want, very slim. Like that's a very risky pull.
Do these class campaigns have the limiteds in them too? Or is it just story and regular?
It is only story lock and permanents. They very strongly call out at the beginning are like no limiteds. Now, if you are relatively new to JP, and you haven't unlocked some of these story locked, that can also be a good opportunity because you can roll them even though they're not unlocked. It's like a campaign banner, but still, it's like.
Yeah, I was about to say if they included the limiteds, then Saber be real good to roll on, but it's just.
Like if you don't have a 5-star Saber, sure, go for it. But like, hey, it's the same 3 permanent 5-star Sabers. It's Artoria, Altera, and Mordred. And so, like, sure, if you don't have a 5-star Saber, decent chances. Otherwise, Like 2 of those are launch units, and one of them was within the first 6 months. So, like, if you've been playing for an extended period, and especially if you've tried out class banners before, you probably got one of those, or maybe a limited Saber. Like, Saber's a decent chance because, you got a whole bunch of story-locked 4-stars in there. Nero, Gawain, Saber Alter. Lancelot Saber's in there. He's not limited or anything, but he's really good. It's just, it's a little bit rough. Like, so... as we like to say, you are forewarned. You know, don't bitch about how things turned out if you roll on these banners and it turns out poorly. Some of these have very slim odds.
Yeah. And everyone's gonna be, I don't know, like, everyone's real excited to see what pops up in the new Lost Belt, so.
Well, yeah, new story chapters are always super exciting. And also a lot of people are like, Paco! Because that should be Lost Belt Berserker. And we'll see. We'll see what horrible tortures Delightworks has concocted for us in LB4. There'll almost assuredly be 2 parts of banners, so one banner will probably be maybe new story locks or new permanents, hopefully permanents, and then there'll be a second part banner, which will be your favoritist limited fun people. You know, the typical characters, story lock, stuff like that.
They're trying to get your money.
So you should expect like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 new servants. Only a couple of those are going to be permanents, right? So, like, yeah, watch the fuck out.
I was actually thinking about this, because, for those of you not in the know, last week I recorded, Live with Lucky. Went for over 4 hours, I think it was.
Yeah, the actual recording session lasted over 4 hours. Let me see what the final edited time came down to, because I wanted to just go ahead and, check out what viewership on that is like right now. Let's see, videos. Yeah, so the final runtime in the public version is 3 hours and 43 minutes.
Oh man, we cut down a lot of time. Holy shit!
There was a lot of pauses and stuff because it was live, obviously. So
yeah, I was reading stuff. But anyway, basically got talking into the business model between like FGO and like other games like Azure Lane and Ghost Frontline, and came to the conclusion that while like FGO like really wants your money and really wants you to spend it, they're also like really upfront about it, and it's really their only, I want to say, predatory practice.
Well, and not even if you don't even want to go that far, it's their only real angle of monetization is you buy quartz. You use
that's
quartz
what I mean by
for like 2 things. You use it to roll servants and CEs and stuff.
Yeah. But other than that, it's like, no, just have instant fucking gratification. You want to level up? Boom, you're done. You want to skill up? Boom, you're done. You want to go get more money so you can go do stuff? Boom.
And like, sure, it can be a little frustrating. Like, I think a lot of people are like, God, even the developers at this point are like, man, the drop rate when we first built this app, you know, almost 4 years ago really sucks.
Yeah.
We wish we could fix that, but we kind of can't. So we're doing stuff like, now you get extra mats when you complete story quests and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, there are some mechanical issues where it's not quite balanced, but theoretically, you can just, you know, on daily AP, you can just keep hitting those daily quests and farm stuff. Now, anyway.
Mm-hmm. And they are nothing if not generous with fucking apples.
Yeah, I still have over 200, and I spent like 10 or so on CCC.
Yeah. But with like other games like Girls Frontline Azure Lane, it's like, yo, no, here, we're gonna give you a fuck ton of ships and a fuck ways to get them, and now we're gonna charge you for living space. And you're like, shit.
Yeah, and GFL has a really good, has also another good system, because they are like, oh, you want costumes? Well, some costumes you can just give us money by buying gems first, but other costumes you have to go randomly, so maybe you can get by free-to-play, scrub. Also, maybe you can just buy lots of No, never buy tokens.
No.
Honestly, I'll tell that story now. I'm a little disappointed, because I had some credit left over from something, so I didn't spend a lot of my personal money, but I bought the Lucky Bag costume, and I got I think there were only like 2 costumes for girls I didn't have. Maybe not girls I liked, but like 2 for I didn't have. I got one of them. I got we figured this out. It was 95. Yeah. 95 is Ara, 97 is Twin Tails. I'm learning. I'm memorizing it. So I'm like, well, I'm sure she'll be on a production rate up when I do want her, so that's cool, but ow, that hurts a little. At least I got like 500 gems out of it.
Yeah, well, I like the Lucky Bag. If we're continuing this story, I also got the Lucky Bag. I think I got, what was it, MG3? Her Christmas costume. I was like,
I think it's 5. Is that one?
MG5? MG5, MG3.
There are a lot of MG models, but I think the one in the Lucky Bag was 5.
Yeah. But, I'm gonna tell this anyway. With the tokens I've been getting, I rolled twice on the Radiant Collection, which is basically, I really like the idea of the fucking Radiant Collection.
Yeah, the Radiant is basically their, what's the word for it? Their evergreen gacha. It's costs 60 less tokens, and it has a mix of some stuff which is permanent or being rerun from previous furniture and costumes.
Yeah. So usually I've been throwing down on that because I wanted black cards to get WA2000's live 2D skin, which is her Halloween skin. I finally got that, and I'm all like, I still have plenty of fucking tokens. I'm gonna start rolling on the actual 100 point because I really want DSR's fucking costume. Oh my god.
Do you have a
I did not
DSR
get-
yet?
I am 4 maps away, but that's the fucking struggle.
That's
this is
definitely
another
a subject for what's up. We're gonna talk lots because now Lucky and I are both doing deep diving on it.
Well,
in
this is
earnest.
why I'm gonna actually tangent back to FGO on this. FGO, for all its difficulty, is not as fucking hard as Girls Frontline in their goddamn events.
Well, yeah. So
And
FGO's difficulty is all inside the battle system, right? There's no map placement weirdness. There's not usually a lot of like terrain effects or anything. It's just there's no like if they do a weird gimmick. Like the equivalent of like night vision, it's usually like just for an event, and it's fairly reasonable. Like the fatigue mechanic during the
FGO's
sets
battles is like, all right, you're here. Here's your enemy. Figure out a way to beat your enemy. The enemy might have gimmicks, but we will usually like provide you tools or bonuses to beat said things. Like, what's coming up next? Onigashima or
Rashomon's first. The Rashomon.
Rashomon. But I'm pretty sure in both of them they give items that like help you be stronger against the boss. I know in Onigashima you can get the beans.
Yeah, you can do the bean thing to counteract the fact that some of the raid bosses resist certain card types.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't remember for Rashomon, but Rashomon also has a event CE that gives you attack. So
yeah, so you get like all these nifty things, but like, oh yeah, here's something to make you like do damage real good. You don't get that really in like other gacha in like Azure Lane and Girls Frontline.
Yeah, I think this is the first time GFL had an event where like, oh, some of these T-dolls have slightly boosted efficiency. By the way, it's like 20%, but still.
Yeah.
They tried.
So I'm just like, so that's one of those things that's all like, it's like instant satisfaction. You don't have to think like real long and hard. Like there are a lot of people in our Discord right now who are going on about their strats to beat like no whip Kiara. And I'm just like, you people are mad. You're all mad lads.
Mm-hmm. And like and hey, you can still do that. You need a very specific setup, but you can still do that. But that's not. I don't know how much that's RNG based. Like, okay, we can say that. Yeah, sure. Like some of the high level Rashomons, Ibaraki can just rando crit you and you're done for a run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that can happen. That's rare though, and that's the very highest difficulty. Girls Frontline, are we both stuck on 2-4 right now?
Yeah.
So
RNG's a bitch, yo.
The second chapter number 4 event map is a RNG heavy because it's a night mission. You have fog of war. Enemy spawns are random, and if the enemy spawns in the wrong place, you are just fucked. Like you have to be grossly over leveled to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guess what? If you have a bum run, you just cut your losses and start over. And that sucks because you can have a lot of bum runs. I think I restarted like 4 times in a row and the enemies were in the exact same spot every time. And I'm just like, okay, I don't need to deal with this right now. I've got like 18 more days. I'm gonna go farm Manju instead. I'm gonna get chirps.
Real talk, Little Bell is the priority right here.
Yeah, because I'm not having a lot of... I've been throwing a couple of, a few cubes a day to get the daily thing. And I on special. Because the Kizuna Eye Gacha has broken me and I will not get Gamer, and I cry. Literally got all the others. I even built the one that normally you're supposed to save up to get points for. It sucks. But I've been throwing it at special. I haven't been getting any luck on there either. I have no other littles. I cry. Azure Lane just doesn't like me right now.
Yeah. So
but I'm doing so good, Azure Lane, I've learned.
But yeah, FGO, like as I said, they want your money. They want you to spend chords on that gacha. But like, as bad as the drops are, it's like, as I said, they kind of make up for it with other aspects of the game.
Well, and also even, they want you to spend your money, but the game has done fairly well at making it so you don't have to. Like, you'll see these videos all over the place. Solo coup run.
Mm-hmm.
I took my silver coup, which I can get, he was a launch unit, you can get him in the free to, the FP gacha. I grailed him to 90, and he's perfect, and wins everything. What do you don't even need other servants. They help, but you don't.
Like the fucking oath,
so weird.
the oath system equivalent in FGO. You know what that is? It's fucking grails. You know, that resource they just give you for free.
Yeah,
You
they
can't
give
buy
you lots
them.
of fucking grails.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you have a limited number, but there's no. I'm glad Da Vinci's not running a grail racket. The fucking the tickets and the other shit in the Mana Prism shop is enough. And God forbid
Like, honestly though, if like Da Vinci sold like grails though, I think that'd be feel much too much
well, that'd cheapen them a little.
Yeah, like a pay to win method maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's like
well, maybe if they were like Mana Prisms, because you can't buy those.
well, I mean, you could just spin coordinates to roll servants and burn
Well, I guess you
burn
can,
them.
but that's not very efficient. That'd be a lot of fucking money.
Maybe not, but like if you just get 4 stars randomly while you're trying to get one specific thing, you know, it's like some kind of a, I don't know.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm thinking there would be the equivalent of like buying a new CE where it's like 1,000 a pop. I'm like, that's not easy. You'd have to roll a lot to get a lot of spare servants. It's what like 3 prisms for a 3-star.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Anyway, somebody else will do the math and yell at us about how that's not economically feasible. They can't possibly do that. Ultra whales would just win or something. Whatever the comments we always get when we talk about the economics of the game, because apparently you big brains out there know exactly what their monetary model is and exactly what would or would not break the game.
Hey, well, hey, I'm not gonna like diss people. There might someone who might be an economics major out there. I don't fucking know.
Oh, sure. I'm just saying we get a lot of very self-assured people in the comments sometimes when we talk about these subjects and be like, dude, what do you know? We don't know. We're like, I don't fucking know. Would that work? Would that not work? I don't know.
We're spitballing. We never profess to be experts. We just know what we know. But speaking of comments, I'm gonna switch over to Chaldea Free Talk because last week we actually put out a word. It's like, hey, can someone explain what's going on with like strange fake and all that crazy shit? And someone actually did. So thanks to Alvaro Mag for this comment. They say, according to the afterword of some of Strange Fake's volumes, the author of the volume didn't ask what was going to happen in FGO because the developing team wanted to keep everything as secret as possible and got worried when Edison came out during America. Then they and the Case Files authors asked to see future events and realized they were in trouble.
Because you're not publishing fast enough. So to talk about how like we're not experts in anything, like I would like to mention that, okay, so technically we only got one source on this. Like if anybody else can corroborate, we'd appreciate that. But we're also not like a bastion of journalistic integrity. So, hey, somebody actually commented with a response to our thing, so we're going with it.
Yeah. And it says according to the afterword of the novels. I'm all like, sounds legit.
Sure, that sounds like, because I know a version of this story has percolated, but I was like, I don't know if they were really mad per se, but I feel like they had a reaction to it. But so if anybody can clarify, and hey, somebody try to clarify. But yeah, I don't know. Like that's the other thing. Like details have come out about the Case Files event, and like, oh boy, that one's just like that. That really is predicated on the idea that you've probably read some of the light novel or something, because it's just like I'm kind of glad we're gonna get the anime first from our frame of reference, because goddamn, I feel like they really just completely blew the load on some of those reveals in the story.
I'm glad we're getting the anime soon.
Yeah, because it's just like, oh wow, that's completely not subtle. That tells way too much. If you didn't know already, like don't look at Gray at all. Pretend Gray doesn't exist. Because that's like no mercy spoilers. I'm like, wow. I mean, I think that's pretty soon, but still, damn. You're just throwing that shit out there. Also, you get to beat up Barbatos again, a lot.
Poor Barbatos is just the heel of this fucking game now. And
also, funnily enough, I believe Barbatos dropped the complete skill mats required for Gray, so it was funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. From what I've seen of it, the Case Files event seems super fun and interesting. It's got a really unique map, which is kind of like the London map, but it's also kind of like a conspiracy board where you have like these zones which are like memories of different events, both like events and even story stuff. So that's pretty cool. So I'm super interested to see that in a couple years. So yeah, I don't think we got anything really to comment about that. We're at about half an hour, so let's do final impressions, I guess, for Seraphix.
All right. Oh, man. So what is left to be said, really?
When we last left off, we hadn't covered any of the post story stuff.
Oh yeah, because the finale wasn't actually the finale.
Right. You got to beat the epilogue, which I did.
You did.
That was kind of the story for the climax was very on point and very good. That's a very well written sequence, including with the special CGs.
A lot of CGs. Kiara, you lewd.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what more can you just honestly say to that? Like, Kiara, you lewd, girl.
Yeah.
And then you get scared, and you're like, oh god.
Also, Kiara is like, I don't know I don't know if there's a better way to say this. She's just kind of a scumbag. Like, at every moment she's like, nope, you're not gonna get me. I'm gonna do something shifty. I'm gonna get you still. Like, you have to. Everybody tries really hard, and it actually comes down to several servants working in concert at the right moment to finally be like, no, fuck you, we're gonna flip you the bird.
I don't know if I would call that scumminess. I would just say that's, overpowered.
I mean, not even like, I don't even know if it's overpowered. Like, I don't know how well she actually does. It's almost like, lady, just fucking keel over already. You've lost. You lost like 4 times. She's like, no, I still want the ultimate pleasure power, whatever. I'm gonna suck the earth into my womb or something weird. I'm weird and creepy, and I'm in your face. I'm just like, okay,
I don't know. That seems like that sounds like the RPG boss. It's like, I have several forms and plans that you must get through, and you're like, God damn it, why?
Just die already.
But yeah. So I enjoyed. Like, I was like on like I was actually in bed, but I was fucking on the edge of my seat. Like, after you actually defeat Kiara, and they just go in that long cutscene. I'm all like, oh, what's happening? Like, Kiara's like, you realize that the body you've been on this entire fucking time was actually Kiara. And you're like, what? And then you go back and look at it and you're like, holy shit, it is. Like, the map changes from like this, like, it's like pretty blue to like this kind of off-putting yellow. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's her powering up map.
Mm-hmm.
When you actually fully reveal and you get it. And it even changes the battlefields too, which is a very good detail.
Yeah, I know. Like, before it was like just the blue grid with like this ocean, you slowly sinking. Then it turns to this like more digital like structure, and you're just all like, shit's fucked.
Mm-hmm. You've got the kind of like yellowish green color, and like I think it added also like the little DNA helixes and stuff in the backgrounds. I don't remember seeing those before, or at least they weren't accented.
No, that was before it was just actually it might have depended on the map. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
We didn't do a comprehensive double check.
Yeah. You go to the final battle, and as you said, Kiara's not giving up, but Servant got back, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I
do think it is also interesting that like it's a good proper setup and defeat. Like, it's like, oh man, Kiara's really strong, and she really kind of kicked your ass there for a second, and then it's just like, oh, after you win that fight with her, she totally gets her comeuppance. Like, it's like, BB dunks on her as like, hey, here's all these Kiara punishers I made. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm. Anti-arousal devices.
Melt gets a couple of snarky comments in there, like, because Kiara's all smug and she's like, yes, I will. What will I do? Oh, I'll crush your arms first, because those are useless anyway. You don't need those, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Melt's like, yo, bitch, you dumb. You should break my legs first. I'ma get you.
I had a fucking sad when you discover that the thing that you saw in the church was actually this current timeline's Melt.
Yeah, Melt had a time paradox problem, so she talked to her of this timeline, and was like, okay, well, one of us has to go, and so the current timeline Melt was just like, all right, it'll be me, and yeah, there's a lot of meaningful flashbacks in this ending sequence. They actually do the time travel elements. Hey, spoilers! There's time travel in this story. Which is interesting because technically all of FGO is about time travel, but it's not about... You don't use time travel tropes a lot. This used, like, the actual idea of, like, oh yeah, no, you can travel through time inside a singularity, basically, to be like, oh, we're gonna...
Yeah, like, it's not so much traveling through time, but traveling to a point in time.
Yeah, the singularities are basically like a physical space, which, I mean, that's how space-time works, but when you ray shift, you're basically teleporting out of the physical location of your current timeline to another weird timeline place.
And those timelines aren't exactly in sync anyway.
Right. That's why they're singularities. They're kind of like isolated. They're weird. They're weird disruptions, or like almost like a cancer of itself in the timeline tree. But this is actually we're just gonna you time travel all the time. You just got to do some math. We're gonna pull you back up in time. Melt does the full blown. Oh, I looped this time already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because in the CCC event, she actually travels back in time by exceeding by going up and exceeding the speed of light.
Yeah, that was the first time they used Virgin Laser Palladian, where Lip throws Melt, and that turns Melt into an anti-Fortress Noble Phantasm.
And the second time they use it, Melt actually fires herself down into Kiara to basically, like, what was it? I can't exactly remember what it was that she was trying to accomplish, but like,
well, so basically, you defeat Kiara's avatar, as it were, and then she's like, okay, Kiara is breaking up, but Kiara is also Seraphic, so Seraphic is breaking up, but she basically is like, okay, well, I'm just gonna ditch you guys. I'm gonna push deeper. I'm gonna accelerate much faster down. I'm gonna hit the bottom of the trench and enter the core of the Earth. So she's dying, but not fast enough that she will actually stop her plans. She's just keep going. Mm-hmm. So Melt is like, okay, Lip, you gotta throw me. And she becomes a spear that, breaks down the barrier. She's gonna pierce Kiara's spirit core, her source as a giant servant beast lady, and break it, which will force Kiara to basically die.
Yeah.
So she pierces her spirit core. It's the same thing that like you remember from the end of Apocrypha, when Mordred fights Semiramis, she, doesn't quite destroy her body, but stabs her in the core, so she will definitely die. But it didn't matter because she got to stick around until her summoner died anyway. I'm still mad about that. I will never not be mad. But anyway, it's basically that sort of situation where, like, okay, Kiara's huge, so even as her physical body, which is a digital body, blah, 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 there's a lot of metaphysical stuff going on here. But even as she degrades, she's still accelerating downward, and basically, you guys are left pulled up. And I believe even BB time travels you also. She, you're too deep, oh shit, you're gonna get ruined. But Suzuka actually has one of her noble phantasms, is she can do a shitload of math, basically, through one of her swords. It's weird, but also really cool. Suzuka's a really neat character who is probably somewhat maligned by the fact that she has her dumb schoolgirl shtick. Though the dialogue is great. But yeah, so that's basically that ending. And then Kiara's like, my backup plan. Well, if this body's done, I'll just take yours. We're the same, right? Alter ego lady. I'm gonna turn my hair into demon pillar tentacles. And you've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. And Melt's like, ew, no. But Lost Man actually manages to not be an asshole and do something good.
This is why I appreciate that moment when they're talking about him. They actually showed the CG of his hand just laying in the pool. And then, like, for a couple dialogues, you see him, like, start to clench his fist. And you're like, oh!
Right, you get the idea that he is not unsummoned. He has not been destroyed. He's just been beat up.
Yeah. And he comes back, and he does the thing that he did to Melt by, was it Melt? Not Melt, Lip. Where he shoots him in the, those, specific points to break the Kamaphage.
Yeah. He breaks up some
Wait,
stuff.
no, he did that to Tamamo.
Yeah,
no,
what he does is he just shoots the demon pillars and they explode.
Yeah.
So he breaks Kiara's grip on Melt, and then Tristan, that smug motherfucker, does a Fulton escape and hooks Melt so she can get extracted and goes down with the ship. Because BB theorizes anyway because Melt resembled Isolde, which is a very interesting touch, which kind of I think colors his. This is a really good, like, it somewhat redeems Emi Alter, but he was still a huge douchebag, but that's kind of his deal, so whatever.
Yeah.
But this whole story definitely redeems Tristan by being like, no, this is what Tristan is actually like. He's a little bit goofy, but he's also a selfless knight, a hero. jumping into
Again,
chasms and being like, yes, fair lady, please escape. I'm going to be crushed in the depths of the ocean, but that's okay.
Like,
I'm a servant. I'll come back.
Again, like, as I said, Knights of the Rounds, most of them are fucking dorks. God.
Yeah. And then that ends. And then it's like Kiara is left all alone, her body rapidly degrading as she basically melts into sea foam. Like the end of The Little Mermaid, in case you don't understand that symbolism. Like Lucky didn't get until just now. That's why she's all bubbly.
Like,
sea foam.
Like, as soon as you say dissolve into sea foam, that fucking clicked, but I didn't see it. Like, in the moment of the fucking,
it's a little hard to understand, but if you're thinking about the CG and you remember that, like, Kiara has this huge complex about The Little Mermaid for some reason, maybe when I do some research about CCC, I'll figure that out. Because, hey, guess what? We're going to talk about it later, but we're doing the poll for this month, and CCC is really winning, so...
No, if I remember correctly, like, The Little Mermaid was, like, one of the only books that well, not the only books, but it was one of the books that, like, resounded strongest with her as a child.
Well, yeah, because she was a sickly child who couldn't go out and was basically neglected by her somewhat primitive family, the, esoteric Buddhist sect, so...
Yeah.
She only had, like, small books for comfort, so one of them was The Little Mermaid, and she really liked it. For some reason, like, because like a lot of Hans Christian Andersen's writing, the original Little Mermaid's really fucked up. But Kira's also really fucked up, so maybe it's his fault. Suddenly everybody looks at Hans and he's like, wasn't me, didn't do it.
It's like, fuck you. But, like, yeah, like, basically in The Little Mermaid is, Ariel does not get her love. And basically because she has to give up, she throws herself back into the ocean and turns into sea foam. So, yeah, maybe there's some analog there that, gotta think on.
So, yeah, but basically Kiara disappears, and she has her last moments perfectly summarizing her character with, like, this hurts, this sucks, this is the best. Because, in case you forgot, like, I think we talked about this last week, like, Melt is 100% a sadist. Like, she is definitely getting some satisfaction out of torment. BB's also kind of like that, but she's creepier. I think we said that, like, I don't know if Lip actually enjoys being bullied, but she attracts that kind of attention anyway.
Because of her hypersensitive skin. Good job.
I think that's kind of the point of her later interlude we're gonna get eventually, where it's just kind of like her owning up to the fact that she's not an innocent victim, but she actually kind of nettles people the wrong way. Like, she's insensitive still in some regards, which kind of, like, attracts people to get annoyed at her. Sort of thing, so maybe there's an opportunity for her to kind of, like, grow and mature, but we'll see that later. Kiara is 100% a sadomasochist, because she can flip from, I'm gonna take deep personal pleasure out of smashing your arms and legs, Melt, to, oh yeah, I conducted the Holy Grail War so servants could kill me over and over again. So she is plummeting to the bottom of the ocean, screaming about how dying is the greatest and also sucks. And she's like, if only things hadn't turned out this way, if, like, stuff had been different, I could have been an alter ego. Wah. And that's why you can summon her. Thanks, what if possibilities. And then
Throne of
it's
Heroes,
gone,
what
and
are
you're
you
done.
all about right now? Throne of Heroes is up there just flipping you to double bird. It's all like, I'm the Throne of Heroes. Like, do what I want.
Yeah. And then you get your proper, like, denouement epilogue, where it's actually like, Melt's like, well, I went through 2 timelines through this, and I exceeded the speed of light, so I'm gonna, like, explode now. Hope to see you later. Bye. I'm like, oh, Melt, no.
Like, again, I say this before, like, before this event, I really wasn't that sold on Melt. Like, at the end of this, I'm all like, I'm just, like, hugging my phone, but like, Melt, I am so glad you came.
Yeah, Melt's,
like, I'm pretty
good.
sure.
I'm gonna... well, she'll probably get moved to Thanksgiving, which is a problem.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how stuff shakes out.
Yeah. Again, Lucky is still recovering from his $700.
Well, yeah, I could do a 10 spin, but this is one of those, neither of these banners have really liked me. Like, I've mostly, like, I got a decent number of the event CEs, but, like, mostly I've just gotten CEs and junk. Like, I haven't really gotten a lot of servants anyway, so I'm like, I don't know, I'm not feeling the banners very well. So,
yeah, so I'm like,
but you have your little goodbyes. Suzuka's kind of fades out before she's like, wait, hold on, let me give you my number.
It's okay, JK Fox, you're already here.
Also, you're permanent, so that's what I'm banking on for her. I'm like, well, you're permanent, you'll show up someday. Maybe there'll be a Saber raid up and I'll be rolling for a bed of ears. in the future.
Yeah. Like, I need to work on my nun. I really do. I think she, like, I've, like, started working on her, but she's only, like,
you didn't feel the
20.
need to go into the Ember Mines for her, right?
No. Like, not yet, because as I said, like, if other gotchas were like, hey, check out these limited time events, I probably would have.
Well, you'll have plenty of spare time, because that's what, I suppose we'll do that. I said I would do that earlier, but I suppose we'll do that at the end. We're going to talk about what is probably coming in 9 million. We'll do that as, like, a little coda.
But let me think here. More things about...
Well, the ending is pretty good. Like, you get your little goodbye with Passion Lip, because she's still there. She's like, it's been super cool hanging out, summon me sometime, gives you a kiss on the cheek. She's
BB's
so
all
sweet
like,
and
wow,
adorable.
she's a lot more aggressive than Melt. And you're like, damn, Passion. You're a good girl.
And then you go back to Caldean, and it's like, it was all a dream. Da Vinci has no idea what you're talking about. And then I imagine you run headfirst into BB in the corridors, and she's just like, hi, senpai, I'm here.
Well, actually, this is the interesting thing. BB, like, once you actually get out of her game, doesn't actually call you senpai a lot. She actually refers to you as master. Because, like, this is one of those weird things I noticed. She doesn't actually call you senpai, like, in her lines until Bond 5.
Yeah, because you're not her senpai. You're a shitty replacement, because Hakuno is super cool. That's something I do find I find a little bit annoying, that, like, for some reason, even though I don't think Extra sold, like, that's super amazing, but, like, Hakuno is treated as, like, the perfect person, the forever cool guy or gal. Like, nobody wants to break up the possibility that, like, of, like, original Tamamo and Nero ships with Hakuno. Like, Melt and Lip get over it, kind of interestingly.
Oh, yeah, that's
good.
something I did
But,
appreciate,
like, BB is still hung up on Hakuno as her perfect senpai. It's like, I don't feel like any other Fate protagonists are jerked off quite as much as Hakuno is. Okay, like, maybe you can argue the FGO protagonist, but you still put all the work into bonding with those individual servants, right? Like, you have to choose to spend your time with all those people.
I don't know. I guess I could say maybe Shiro gets a bit of jerking off.
Yeah, but I don't. Well, actually, I don't. I'm not saying I still don't have a Vanilla Saber, so I don't know what her feelings are about that. But, like, I feel like Emiya gets dunked on pretty regularly, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
Emiya gets dunked on, but
poor regular Shiro isn't even in this fucking game yet. Like,
that's true.
The poor boy got fused with an old swordsmith, and he's still not summonable. Will he ever be?
I think this is the
longest
time. I think this is the longest time a servant's been teased. I think before this it was Aresh ago, and that
Aresh
took,
was
like,
about a year, but still.
Yeah.
And Aresh was completely unplanned. There can't be any way that, like, they gave him a special CG, they gave him a theme remix. There was no way that when Delightworks made Muramasa, they were like, because he's the version of Shiro that appears on a Limited Zero Over too. So it's like, you had this character design, you had to know that people are gonna want this, because Shiro himself is not summonable in any form. Like, not even, we've been through, like, a run and a rerun of Prisma, and no version of Shiro has showed up, even though some people think that the Prisma version of Shiro is, worthy of standing on his own. I'll agree, at least in the same level of, like, Chloe or Miyu can stand out there, then totally the Shiro, one of the Shiros from Prisma, because Prisma involves multiple timelines. Funny about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could appear, but no. So it's like, Shiro is pretty fondly thought of. He's a pretty core character, but FGO doesn't go out of its way to preserve his ships. Like, I mean, I guess they do. They go out of the way to be like, oh, Ishtar's not Rin, and so on. But still, like there. I mean,
there are, like, a couple callbacks. Like, Summer Artoria back in the Summer 1 event, like, talks about, like,
that's what I was saying earlier when I said I don't have vanilla. I don't know what Saber feels like her relationship with you is like.
Like, no. It's when, like, you build the Japanese house, Saber is all like, yes, this is the best. Now we need a shed with a whole bunch of junk in it, and recalling those memories fondly.
Yeah, but that's a general Fate Stay Night though, because remember, she was also there in Fate Zero.
That's true.
So it's like, that's not. That's what I'm saying. There's not a lot of specific call-outs to Shiro, and his feelings are not necessarily protected. But goddamn, if you really like that Hakuno and Tamo got along, like, this game's like, yeah, no, or like BB, whatever. It's like, it's really weird how they keep Hakuno so, like, pristinely preserved. I'm like, you you don't feel that good about anything. You guys went out of your way to write around Jean and Sieg, despite the fact that they're both summonable.
Same with Amakusa and Semiramis.
Yeah, like you have gone out of your way to write it so that you don't have to worry about these characters' ships interrupting you. But like, no, we have to have alternate versions of Nero and Tamamo so you can waifu them. Like, okay,
if I remember, actually, Tamamo says like, yes, there is someone out there, but that's from like another. I think she kind of says the same thing.
Well,
as
yeah,
Semiramis
Tamamo doesn't
does.
really remember Hakuno clearly because that's the future, but Throne of Heroes. But regular Tamamo, at least, especially over time, has kind of like taken the stance she tries to teach to Tomoe, which is like, hey, listen, you're summoned here right now to this master. You gotta like back them up until the job is done, even if you have another love out there somewhere. Like that's a theme that's come up in like recent years. People have kind of gone over that with like Tomoe because she has a very famous relationship with her husband. There's been also some like there's been some kind of like teasing back and forth with like Shuten and Kentoki, like where Shuten's attention should be as a servant.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you also kind of get this a little bit with Maeve, excuse me. But Maeve, I don't know if you can really count because Maeve is Maeve.
Well, yeah, like she was already like that in her legends. That's like, listen, she really likes Ku because that's the whole complex of her story. But she also already really got around. What's the number? There's like we've talked before on our Discord about how ridiculous a lot of these like Irish Celtic legends are.
It's
Ku banging like a dozen ladies at age 8. But I think it was some ridiculous number like Maeve. To be sexually satisfied, Maeve needs either like 12 dudes or 1 Fergus, and Fergus needs like 6 ladies or 1 Maeve. It's like it's crazy and dumb. If anybody remembers the exact number quoted in the legend, please leave it in the comments down below.
Yeah, but it's it's like in that moment, like in the Valentine's, like yeah, she comes up, she gives you chocolate, and it's like, okay, you're the first one. Now I gotta give all chocolates to all my Kus, and it's all like, oh, okay.
Well, you thought of me at least.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell whether or not this is obligation chocolate or not, but okay. You tried.
And then you get, like, characters like Summer Tamamo, who is going to fucking drug you and take you off somewhere.
Summer Tamamo's, there's too much sun. It's not good for her. She's overheating. She's running at about 110%, which is very scary.
Run wild with a Mikon.
It's also funny that the alternate Nero is literally Nero Bride. Too. It's like, this is the one you can waifu.
I mean, I guess that's kind of how, like, why they have fucking voice Shiki, too.
Well, true. That is, like, everybody understands that. You can't break up that fucking romance.
No, you can't.
So it's like, but if you think Shiki is cute,
ship.
Void is literally a different person, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But she also is actually literally a different person. It's the same face, but their personalities are completely different. So, I still don't have a Void. I cry.
I got lucky. I really did. But, let's see, I'm trying to think of everything. Like, I also do enjoy about FG, like, I keep wanting them to bring in, like, more, actual couples. Like, I am part of the, Give Sita.
Group. There are, I think, like, okay, so, like, Cleo and Caesar. That works. The game totally supports the fact that there's a big ship going on there, and like their relationship works and is comical, and like, but also, like they click together pretty good. Most people are like, I'm not gonna get in the way in that.
Yeah.
But like you said, there are famous couples like. Oh, by the way, also that reminds me, I forgot to say this while I was reading the translation, but if you Google Translate the website on Ozymandias, it's Ojiman Diaz. Old Man Diaz. So Old Man Diaz and his wife, like you can't summon her.
And I can't remember.
Even though she has character design.
Well, she shows up. An image shows up of her in in prototype Fragments of Blue and Silver. Because,
we have an official character design for her.
Yeah,
we also have an official character design for Moses, but we'll see if that goes anywhere. Also, speaking of power couples, we have an official character design for Heidi, but she's not summonable.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's supposed to hang out with the Count.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other real... Well, I mean, we just mentioned Tristan, so there's no Isolde is probably she's part of the legend too. She's probably summonable in her own right. There's no
yeah, and we're talking about like
Sita.
already power couples. We have Concert Yu and was it Zhang Yu?
Yeah,
Shang Yu.
That's yeah. Well, there's it's the X problem where we literally don't know what to do.
I don't.
But yeah, they're summonable. That's the whole point.
And there's a bunch of funny comments about that couple for various reasons.
Yeah, most people are behind that, even though most people also like to say that Concert Yu is very, very pretty and like to draw her that way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Let's see. That's what I've noticed. Like for most official ships, like I don't really hear about a lot of people like banging up on. I think it's actually more when the ships aren't supported that people get messed up. Because I remember
we talked about this with I think I titled an episode "The Great Semiramis Incident." Because several people, like on the subreddit, were real pissed off that her her Bond 5 and like her comments were like that she was into you, but she was not as into Amakusa. There was dialogue which is like, I recognize that guy, but that's from a different life. That's a different me. So we're not going to talk about that. Also, personally, like I said, I don't know what it'll be localized as, but the literal translation of, I think, Semiramis' line was also a little bit more ambiguous than people thought. Because there was a very much a, like, she was like, she put something in front of you and is like, this glass is poisoned, or is it? Love is a thing like that, isn't it? Or is it? Like, it's like, there's a lot of double talk, right? Which is kind of how Semiramis operates. There's a lot of, like, danger there. And also don't try to hold her hand, because you'll get fucking impaled. Do not accept head pats from Semiramis. Don't hold hands. Don't shake. Definitely don't go for the hand job.
I guess pierced hands are kind of a chastity belt because everyone knows hand holding is the most lewd of acts you can do.
Mm-hmm. I would say go for the lap pillow instead, or possibly aim higher because her boobs are huge.
Mm-hmm.
You can touch her ears; they're very pointy.
They're her weakness.
But yeah, like so that was a big kerfuffle. There was not a very big kerfuffle but that's because Sieg and Jean is not super popular.
I'm with them. I'm not really behind that. Like I only have the anime to base feelings off of, but it was just kind of like,
yeah, the pacing in the anime for relationships was a little off. But also, I think that was generally what I'd say about Apocrypha in general was like Apocrypha needed to be like slightly longer. I think because I've heard a lot of people, for instance, say that a lot of like internal monologue and like detailed thinking was cut out, which kind of like, yeah, that the characters needed a little bit more time to grow because it's an ensemble cast, so it's like they needed like maybe another couple of episodes to like shake it out. But hey, it was on TV, so production limitations.
Like if just basing off the anime, I'd say fucking Astolfo and Sieg were the one true pair in that anime. It's like God,
they were definitely leaning that way a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but like I think the ultimate conclusion though is like their relationship can still happen in the future, but if you want to hang out with regular Jean, that's cool. But also, you also have your own super edgy Jean, who is definitely all about you, and terrible at showing it. Haha, my face is delicious, but there's no way you bit it. Oh my god, you bit my face. What the fuck are you doing? This plan is horribly backfired. As I'm sitting there chewing this, saying, Jean, your face is delicious. And she's like, no. Despair.
And then Billy Shakes had to run for his life.
Well, that was his problem.
Mm-hmm.
Best ship in FGO, Billy Shakes X drama.
Oh, they can never give each other up.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose real quick before, because we got sidetracked talking about like what BB's relationship with you is like. We should say, because we're both done with it. There is a post game where you go to the BB map and you have to beat up BB Go because once again talking about time travel and like computer shenanigans. So there's well, not really a fake, but there's an alternate BB that Kiara made by basically ejecting the BB parts of herself. Because she copied herself from a timeline where she absorbed all the alter egos and stuff. So she made, like, a cheap knockoff BB and made her the administrator. But then, like, regular BB from the Moon timeline got summoned and they did a fucking baton pass so that BB Go didn't have to do anything. And regular BB would just fuck Kiara's shit up because neither of them liked Kiara very much. But then after you beat Kiara, BB Go is like, "Mwahaha, senpai, I was the villain the whole time. I'm the double secret boss." And you're like, "Oh my god, are we doing this again?" I'm still, I totally picked all the exasperated options, by the way. I was like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? I just did this. Why?" BB's like, be a little more scared, a little. "Senpai, please, come on, I'm doing a thing here." I'm like, "Okay, fine." "Oh no, it's BB. She's come to destroy us. You dastardly fiend."
I always liked about BB Go, she would always have the red eye sprite.
Yeah, she had the full-blown yandere sprite. It was so you could tell the two apart.
But anytime you threw her off her game, she'd go back to the regular sprite.
Right. Because she's projecting hardcore. But BB Go reveals that she kidnapped and hacked your servants away and makes you fight them for her sick amusement, which I'm sure there was no amusement. It was just like, listen, sometimes you gotta punch your friends. These fights were pretty fun, though. I'm kind of sad that Nameless's gimmick was that he is mask and then no mask. Like,
yeah, because with well, especially with Tamamo.
That one was I had to check myself going in because that was the last one I did. I'm like, wait, don't be dumb. She's gonna switch to her bikini halfway through.
Yeah, so I like that.
That was really good. And then Nero switched from regular Nero to Bride.
Man, but it's still Saber to Saber, so you're just like, shit!
Yeah, the classes were the same, but that was an actual visual change, and she got different skills and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you go to fight BB Go, and she's like, "Oh, was it torture for you to fight your friend?" "No, girl, I've done this the whole time. Whatever, they're back now. They're gonna beat you up." And she's like, "Oh, shit."
What?
And then you beat her up.
Our
chat also
BB is, I like
that regular BB explicitly mentions that this summoned version of her is incomplete. So hey, there's a lot of Kiara made a lot of failed attempts to make BB copies that are just lying around. Go ahead and find those extra copies of me so you can power up my noble phantasm. Okay. Leaning on that fourth wall there.
I like that it actually. Well, BB's breaking the fourth wall this entire damn event. Remember, you start off with a partial voiceover, and she comments on that.
Part of voice, not full voice.
It's like So she's breaking the fourth wall out, and honestly, a lot of the times, the master breaks the fourth wall too.
Yeah.
FGO is a strangely self-aware game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Fate's always been a little a little self-aware. You know, Fate's always been a very conscious and stuff, and there was a recent thread on Reddit which actually was super well received. And I'm glad about that. Where it's like, let's appreciate the NA localization team because they do good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, there was another thing I wanted to check. We're doing another localization panel soon. Let me check what that is. Is that the next tour stop or what? Let me double check that. But what I was saying was somebody said that somebody was like, oh, I don't know when they translate Western memes into the thing, what's the line they're replacing? But a lot of people were like, no, it's probably Japanese memes that we wouldn't get because Nasu and the writing team loves to put in JP memes as much as our Western team loves to put in EN memes, which I totally get that they do that a lot. Heck, they referenced EN memes in JP. I think they called Ibaraki a banana recently, which is not how she's usually referred to in Japan.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of self-awareness in the in the script anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not written as FGO, you're written as Fate Render. I'm searching through my fucking Twitters. It's like, no, you don't write yourself as FGO, it's Fate Go.
Yeah, but so yeah, you do that, and then they did what is a nod to actual CCC, and the actual final secret boss is Monster, aka Shiki.
Yeah, which was she was a bonus boss in in Extra.
It's I think the other bonus boss was I can't pronounce her fucking name. Tsukihime.
Oh, she was not a bonus boss. She was just a regular in Extra. She's a regular tier.
Oh, really? Is she?
Yeah, she's a regular chapter boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so funny vamp.
That was the soccer team. That was the soccer con one. Scrolling through.
But I guarantee you, if she had shown up, people would have lost their fucking minds.
Yeah, they also know that they can't do that because everybody really wants Arc.
Mm-hmm.
But we're supposedly waiting on that Tsukihime remake, aka forever.
Yeah. Again, I laugh at how many people got upset.
Okay, so yes, this is the USA tour. The next USA tour location is Anime Central, and that'll be Saturday, May 18th. So that's about a week away. All right.
Let's see here. A week. How many days are left in the CCC event?
About 4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It ends. Hold on. I'm already on the wiki. I can check what day it's supposed to end. It will end on the 15th. I'm wondering if they'll. I don't know. We know that they have they have strategically announced events at panels and stuff, but at the same time, like, I don't know if they want to. We've got a very busy schedule, and they've done a lot to make sure that our schedule is moving at a pretty solid clip. So I don't know if they'll want to, especially for a downloads event. I don't know if they'll want to like delay that announcement and firing up.
And we'll see.
We'll see. We will obviously see. That'll be next week. Who knows? We may delay the show until after the panel again, or not, because apparently, like we said, they're gonna post archives of panels on YouTube now. Let's hope they do that for every panel.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But all right. So, do we have any other CCC thoughts-o?
Let me think here.
Because we didn't manage to break an hour.
Yeah. Good job, us. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of something specific, and I'm not really.
If you don't got anything, you don't got anything. So
I know. I'm just. Unfortunately, Lucky is not good at organizing his thoughts most of the time. So I guarantee you, like, if I don't think hard about it now, give me an hour later, I'm gonna get a wild hair and be like, shit. So, I do appreciate that the actual again, I kind of want to know, like, I need the soundtracks for these maps, because the fucking the first
that's
map.
something I did want to mention was like the way that in the climax they remix the BB channel theme to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do a different cut of that.
Like what they do with the music
really
is like always is just like what they do with this music a lot of the time is real good. Like I can't like the Vento map music was really good. The Dorsal one was more laid back. It was like, okay, this is chill. Then you get like the BB, which is just a remix of the first one, and you're just like, what? This is amazing. Like this ain't CCC related, but I finally figured out which is the track that plays when you're like beating Gatia, like for the final time. It's actually called Advent Beast 1.
Yep, that's usually what those are called. So if you're looking for soundtrack things, look for the Advent Beast themes. That'll be the Beast boss battles.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh my god, I love this music so much.
FGO's a lot of good music, but all right.
Like
go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, if I can get the chance, I'm totally gonna be picking up the FGO soundtracks.
Yeah, if they offer them, they're really good.
And interesting enough, I actually recently learned this. Japan is one of the places that still like does most of their music as physical media.
Well, they got that big collecty streak over there, right? Like you need to like get physical tchotchkes.
Yeah, like I think it's like 71% over there. People still purchase like on physical media, which is followed by the United States, which is like maybe like at 15. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so to kind of outro, we'll run down this really quick. So 9 million downloads should be coming up next. That'll be the appropriate time frame. It's pretty simple. Basically, log in every day. You can log in for up to 9 days to get 9 tickets. I'm going to save all those tickets for Rashomon. And then you get 9 of various things, like you'll get 9 million QP, 9,000 friend points, 9 of different apples, 9 EXPs, 90 mana prisms, etc. The mana prism shop should give you an extra batch of EXPs you can buy. There's going to be a great and super success rate up, which I know a lot of people are hoping for. You can earn double friend points. There's a fairly unique thing. I haven't seen this a lot, but they're going to do double quartz fragments for this week.
Oh.
So instead of getting 2 for every master mission completed, you get 4 for a little while. There's going to be a new block of servant rank ups. We'll break that down when that actually comes out. There's going to be more hunting quests. We'll break that down when we come up. Rank ups will be at half AP. The daily login is going to change. Hope you liked Void Dust, because now we're going to get Fool's Chains. And then there's a summon campaign. It'll be mostly Babylonia themed, but also Orion is there for some reason. I don't understand. But hey, there'll be Ishtar, Quetzalcoatl on raid up. Lancer Medusa, Sitheno, Gorgon, Urale, and also Jaguar Warrior. So, if you don't have these guys and you want them, that's a decent rate up. I mean, there's a Sitheno in there, so I'm not rolling.
And so, Lucky has stated, I'm not rolling probably until Summer 2.
And there's going to be a couple of new 3-star CEs, which will lead to new memes, because one of them is Armless Shinji-kun. Hold on, let me share this with Lucky and everybody, because, you know. But that'll be soon. That'll be in the 3-star gacha now. Good old Armless Shinji-kun. Yeah, but I think that's the show. I will very briefly touch on, like I said earlier, we're doing Teach Me Omega Sensei this month. That poll's got a few more days. If you sign up or are part of our Patreon already at the 5 and up level, you can vote on this poll. We have 4 choices. What is the Mages Association? What do we know about Grand Servants? What was going on in CCC exactly? And what is the reverse side of the world? CCC is winning by like 3 or 4 votes. I expect that to continue in the future. But hey, there's still time to vote and change that up. But I expect that sometime this month I will have to research what the plot of CCC is supposed to be and kind of explain it in depth. Not like full-blown review would be like, okay, so here's the beats, here's what's going on, here's why BB is here, here's why Kiara is here, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And like, here's what the themes are, kind of, and what happens. And we'll hope you enjoy that. So, yeah, lucky we managed to turn about 2 pages of notes, one of which isn't even a real page of notes, into a hour and 15-minute show. Good job, us. High five, everybody. All right. I guess we'll just do the outro. You got any more final thoughts for the show?
No, not particularly. As I said, like, post 9 millions, we should be gearing up for the reruns of Rashomon and then Onigashima, if I remember correctly, right?
That should be the next couple up for us.
Yeah.
You'll be doing a lot of reruns for a month or 2 until we get to Agartha.
Yeah. So, everyone prepare your wallets, because here comes some Oni and fucking Mama Raiko. But other than that, oh god, like, again...
Do you like Raita? Get ready.
Actually, yeah, that's true. I'm good on my Raita.
Actually, I think it's probably a triple dose, because I feel like regular Kentucky is on the rate up too on Onigashima. I'd have to check what the rerun is like. That's like a month away, so
that's true, yeah.
We're not super into it, but I think he's on there too.
I am into it, but I just can't be spending the fucking money right now for...
Well, also, you've already got all those, so you're fine. Like
I don't got Kentucky.
Sure,
I do want a Kentucky.
Do you... I mean, you want it, but do you want to risk rolling an NP2 Mama?
I don't know. NP2 Mama might be good. As I said, overcharge, natural overcharge. Yeah.
Now, by the way, you don't have to worry about that for Rashomon. Rashomon is, they did a good thing. They moved Ibaraki to be on rate up on Rashomon also, so it's just Shuten and Ibaraki. It's just Onis, guys. And you'll get like 9 tickets beforehand, so.
That's solid. As I said, I gotta save that all up for, Summer 2. Because I'm gonna do like I tried to do with Summer 1, and, get all the servants in one go. Because I'm a fucking madman. Hey, I did it at Summer 1, I'm gonna try it for Summer 2.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I tried to take a dramatic sip of my water when I said that, but then I accidentally spilled some water myself.
Yeah, but that's it for motherfucking Lucky, the madman.
Yeah, my big save, by the way, is for the summer rerun, because I'm really hoping to get that fucking writer Mordred. Would you kindly, game? And then after that, for me, the next big spend is Summer 2. Which, that'll be a little bit more limited, that's a little bit less chaotic for me, because I think one of the ones I want the most for free, thanks game. And other than that, it's mostly going to be, I think, focusing on that first rate up for maybe some Summer Nero and Summer Nobu action. I mean, I guess I do kind of like Writer Alter Summer, but like not enough to make it a thing. Like it's kind of like how I felt about Artoria Summer. I was like, eh. I mean, I spent her date ticket on that banner, and I got Summer Martha instead. So,
hey, Punch Saint is good.
Well, hey, she was really helpful in this event. I'm actually kind of glad I got her. I just wasn't planning on her.
I
wasn't really planning on any of my summer servants. I did not go into this expecting NP3 Tamalancer.
This reminds me, I actually need to level my fucking summer servants. I think only like one of them is max level.
Oh yeah, that's important because we got a rerun coming up. They'll have bonuses and stuff. Remember how much of a pain in the ass that event was?
I hope you saved your CEs, guys.
Yeah, you better, because I think the rerun streamlines it a little bit, but still, it's kind of a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
That's a future discussion, though, so...
Yeah. Pro tip, save your CEs for reruns.
Yeah. Until you have played through the rerun, you can compress them down to max limit break to save space, and honestly, there are a lot of CEs where you don't need to bother with more than the individual copies, right? Don't get rid of them until the rerun runs.
Computer?
Alright, you roboted a lot there, Lucky, but I think that was just you going like, computer? Are you dying?
No, my display driver just fucking crashed and recovered.
Whoop!
So I was like, what's happening? That's why I'm literally yelling, computer! Lucky talks to his
BB got you a little bit there. She gooched you at the end.
And it was kind of funny because I was actually going to talk about the CCC, CEs, because, as I said, I spent $700 on these gotchas, so I have a fuck ton of, got a fuck ton of them. I basically limit broke, 2 down, limit broken, so I have 2 MLB copies of each CE gotcha, and just sold the rest, because when this rerun happens in, 2 years, I'm like, yeah, two of each should be good.
100% spawn rate up, I think, is the max anyway, so there's no point in going deeper than that.
Yeah. So, because as much as I like I said, because I have that, I definitely have that hoarder's mentality of, I need at least one of every copy.
Right. It's for completionism.
I know, and guys, I know that it saves a copy to your fucking materials, but I want actual copies. It's like, grr. Which is super weird considering this is just a digital piece of data. What has this world turned me into? I don't even fucking know.
And it hurt.
Cry.
I think that's a good point to wrap up. So let's go ahead and say that if you like this episode, give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. It's not like we've asked you to leave a comment 3 or 4 times. You can also consider joining our Discord. We reference them a lot. They have lots of discussions about stuff. Sometimes we're not even there. That link is in the description. And of course, if you're new and have not already, please subscribe to the channel so you can always get our latest episodes. And even if you're already subscribed, consider hitting that bell for notifications so YouTube will let you know when we post a video. Because sometimes sometimes Omega sleeps weird and videos don't get posted for a little bit.
It happens.
We're not quite on an 8 to 5 schedule here, guys. And as it says at the beginning of the show, you can consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to this episode early in audio format for as little as $1 a month. You can get input on various topics, get access to stuff early, listen to the show live, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And it helps us out. It helps fund the upgrading of our technology and the eventual consolidation of our business model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that's the show. That's Let's Talk FGO, everybody. We'll see you next week, where we'll talk about if JP announced any other bullshit, and if EN announced any bullshit yet. Otherwise, if they don't announce anything until the panel, we'll probably have to delay the show by a day or 2, because otherwise there will literally be fucking nothing. But alright, we'll see you.
Laters!